New folks, New England Storm Chasers. I am James Cinco, Alex Avalos,
Hello.
Kyle Goodwin,
Hey.
and Kyle Avery filming right now.
What's up?
Alrighty, we're getting ready for a storm. Well, it could be a good day, wouldn't you agree?
Yep.
Alright, here's what we're looking at right now. This is the Albany sounding for NAM right now. Any input you want to make? But it's at 1 o'clock right now. Cape's running about 251. Lift indices are in the negatives, though. Which is what we want. The Cape. Helicity jumps up at about 4 o'clock. Still lift indices, negatives. Negatives. Helicity is skyrocketing. And definitely a lot of veering. Strong low-level and upper-level jet. Look at the Cape, though. By 7 p.m., Cape jumps to 695, Helicity 344, lift indices around -3. I'll let Alex take over here because he was going to show us this. The Storm Prediction Center's latest outlook. Oh, not today. Tomorrow.
There's a link at the top. You can just click.
Alright. You want to talk about it, Alex?
Alright, so as you can see, we have a large area of slight risk down to the Gulf Coast up into western New England. And the area I'm most concerned about is if you look at the probabilistic outlook, the biggest area of concern is definitely going to be from western Vermont down into western Pennsylvania. Now, due to time constraints, obviously we're not going to be able to look down into New York and Pennsylvania. However, we're thinking western Vermont, like right along the edge of the 30% line is where we'll end up. So around the Whitehall, New York, Rutland, Vermont area.
Yeah,
Be our best chance.
Down in this area right here. The Storm Prediction Center, for text is saying, there'll be great low-level moisture, low-level jet. You got a lot of lift indices, and that lift indices are going to be in the negatives. You got perfect conditions for some severe weather. Even they're calling right now the capabilities of supercells and Boeing line segments. So, BOECHOs. Capable of producing damaging wind gusts, hail, and perhaps a few tornadoes. I don't know much of the tornado threat is likely right now, but we'll
There
find
will
out.
be a tornado threat.
Yeah, definitely.
There definitely will be.
Probably have to take a look definitely at the day 1 outlook tomorrow, which will be very interesting. Since we have a weather briefing at 1100 hours tomorrow, or 1000 hours, depending on the situation.
Because the second outlook after the morning one is issued is at 9 a.m. So that'll be our best option if we're leaving before noon.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's talk more in the world of, back in the model world. The GFS model for Albany itself is pretty, get to it here, sorry. Here's the 2 p.m. model GFS for Albany sounding. Definitely a lot of low-level moisture. You got temperature running at 29°C. So you're talking almost, 80? 82 maybe? Something like that.
Pull out my handy-dandy calculator now.
Yeah, handy calculator.
So, what's the temperature in Celsius?
29.
Oh, 84 degrees.
So you're talking low, mid-80s. And
that's not including the dew points.
Dew points running right around 20, 21. Yeah, running
That's
around.
about 70.
So about a 70 on the dew point, which is very prime.
Very moist, low levels tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's very conducive for tornado development. Now, one other thing, I don't know if you read this, but it said an enhanced severe threat could develop from western Pennsylvania across much of central New York, where model forecasts show the greatest combination of instability and low-level flow. So,
Exactly.
Whitehall, New York, where we may end up, that's in that prime 30% area.
Exactly.
We'll have to keep an eye on it tomorrow.
GFS model at 2 p.m. is indicating, at the height of the very warm conditions that they're calling for. Cape running at 426. Your CINS indices are running at 14, which is not that bad. Your lift indices are running on almost a -2. So, definitely great convective weather. With that said, let's go look at our area of travel. Any input you want to have, Kyle?
There's nothing at the moment right now. I'm just
Okay.
sort of learning about the situation currently right now.
Yeah. One of the newest quick into the scenario here today that Kyle is going to be joining us.
Looking forward to hopefully a really active day tomorrow.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. Okay, what we're doing is we're going to be going to Whitehall, New York. Just down near Lake George.
And the total driving distance is 2 hours and 35 minutes.
Yep. So, we're looking at Whitehall, New York. So we may end up just hanging around the Lake George area. You know.
No, probably Whitehall would be a better bet because Whitehall is in flat land. Lake George is in the mountains.
That's true. It is in the mountains, isn't it?
And yeah, it's further west.
But I mean, you're only talking about this much area of flat land. That's not a lot of flat land.
Yeah, but the chances of seeing something are going to be better there than in Lake George.
Good point.
Because
And
again, you gotta.
You know how difficult chasing is here in the Northeast, so
Oh,
you gotta
yes.
be very careful.
What we're doing is one of the most dangerous things you can do. Is it's easier. It's kind of ironic that you could say this and kind of like contradictive that it's easier and safer to chase out in the Midwest where you get more violent tornadoes, but here in the Northeast it's more dangerous to chase because of the terrain. It's very hard to see tornadoes if they do get developed, you know, and whatnot, because they will hide behind trees and whatnot, and you can't see it. Definitely what we're doing is kind of dangerous, so we'll go with the safety procedures here momentarily. But, so we're talking 2.5 hours, so if we do a weather briefing at 11 a.m., we have to give the go, no-go at 11. Because we have 3 hours that would get us there at about 2 o'clock, 2:30, depending on travel.
Yeah.
So we're talking, you know, almost into the period where they're calling for beginning of development. It could be explosive development, so.
It should be.
Should be.
You got like that lake is gonna probably like spew up some storms over the mountains like
Definitely
once it
provide
goes
a lot
over.
of moisture,
Yeah.
enhancing it. But alright. Anybody want to start now? We can go over to safety procedures
Yeah,
now.
Yes.
Let's talk about safety procedures. Alex, go ahead. And
Alright,
start.
so probably the best, the number one safety concern we have is the yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is the approach of these storms. It would probably be best because we know how dangerous it is to chase up here. Is that we do not get directly into the storm, that we stay at a safe distance away from them, and try to get as much photography as we can at that point. Because tornadoes are rain wrapped around here, we cannot see that there's a tornado in the storm. That way, if we have to get out, we have safe time to do it.
Exactly. If there is any cells that we're in the area and we hear that if we get message that the tornado warning has been issued on a cell, we will definitely not invade at least the 3-mile threshold.
Well, not only that, but storms that have hail would not be a good idea to go punch those because we're going to end up with a damaged car if we do.
Yeah, we don't want to get in the hail.
So I think it would probably be best just to not punch any storms,
No.
like get within safe distance of them, but not directly into the storm.
Yeah.
That's the number one safety. The number one priority is our safety.
Exactly.
So
at least if there is a tornadic storm or something, I believe that we should not, like most, you know, in the Midwest, it would be the 1-mile threshold. You don't invade the 1-mile threshold, besides unless you're Reed Timmer.
Yeah.
If anything else, if there is no hail core that we can identify, or if it's not in the area where we are near, whatnot, don't invade. We won't invade the 3-mile threshold of the tornadic system, if there is a tornadic system. Severe thunderstorm, we just gotta watch what is indicated on radar.
now you're gonna have your computer, right?
Yes.
Keeping track of the storm. So we'll have to make a judgment call when we see a storm on radar.
And the only problem is the radar. See, we don't have internet in the car, so we're gonna have to use it just when we stop, like in Rutland, because that's like the nearest place that has free Wi-Fi. I don't think anything in Whitehall has free Wi-Fi. I don't think there was a McDonald's or anything in Whitehall. But we will have to make the call from there. Otherwise, we're using just mobile cell phone.
Number one emphasis tomorrow is our safety.
Yes.
We can't put that in on the line.
Yeah, exactly. But with that, a couple of people that are possibly going with us tomorrow are not here right now, present for the weather briefing, but hopefully they will be here tomorrow for the 11 a.m. weather briefing, which is where we may have to do a go no go.